What if the man you ignore today becomes the lesson that shatters you tomorrow? What if the cold pavement you step over without looking becomes the final place your pride rests? And what if, when no judge remains, no court listens, no power saves you, nature itself decides to speak? This is not just a story. This is the fall of arrogance, the echo of cruelty, and a verdict delivered without words. This is nature's revenge. It was a scorching summer afternoon in Manchester, the kind of heat that sticks to your skin, that makes the air feel heavy, that drains patience from crowded streets and railway platforms. Omar stepped off the train, shoulders slumped, bag hanging loosely from one hand. Travel exhaustion sat in his bones. Around him, life moved fast. People rushed past, shoes clicked, phones glowed, laughter floated carelessly through the air. Everyone was moving forward. Everyone, except one. Under the shade of an old tree near the station sat a homeless old man. His clothes were thin and torn. His hands trembled, not asking, just resting on his knees. His beard was untrimmed, his face lined with years of being unseen. People avoided his eyes like he was a shadow that might stain them. Omar walked past, then stopped. Something tugged at his chest. A quiet voice inside whispered, "If you ignore him, you become like the rest." Omar turned back. He didn't speak, didn't ask questions. He simply nodded, gently, acknowledging the man's existence. That night, Omar couldn't sleep. The image followed him. The shaking hands, the tired eyes, the loneliness sitting beneath that tree. The next morning, he went to a nearby store and bought a thick quilt. Not cheap, not spare change, his own money. When he wrapped it around the old man's shoulders, the man looked up slowly. For the first time in weeks, he smiled. A real smile. Fragile. Grateful. Human. From that day on, Omar returned daily. Food, milk, sandwiches, water, sometimes words, sometimes silence, and sometimes just presence. One evening, as the sky softened into orange and grey, the old man finally spoke. "I wasn't always like this," he said quietly. Omar listened. "I worked once for a powerful businessman, a man who owned half this city." The old man swallowed hard. "I did terrible things for him. Lies, threats, dirty work. He promised protection." His voice trembled. "When I became inconvenient, he framed me, destroyed my family, sent me to prison." The old man looked away. "When I came out, I had nothing. And he had everything." Omar followed the old man's gaze. Across the road stood a massive mansion, bright lights, luxury cars, security guards at every corner. Its owner was known to everyone. Mr. Carter, a respected businessman. Feared, powerful, untouchable, but whispered about in quiet corners. That same night, sirens cut through the city. Police stormed Carter's warehouses. Illegal weapons, drugs, money laundering. Years of darkness exposed in hours. Carter watched the news in disbelief. His empire was collapsing. Phones rang endlessly. Lawyers failed. All doors closed. Panic took over. And then, fear. So Carter did something desperate. He dressed himself in old clothes, left his mansion behind, slipped into the night. He took the place under the tree, the same spot, the same cold ground. Rain began to fall, slow at first, then heavier. Wind sliced through his thin clothes. Cold seeped into his bones. For the first time in his life, no guards stood nearby. No money spoke for him. No respect followed him. Only rain, darkness, and regret. He whispered into the storm, If only I had been kind. But nature does not rewind time. By morning, the storm had finished speaking. The city was quiet. Omar returned, food in hand. He lifted the soaked quilt gently and froze. It wasn't his old friend. It was Mr. Carter. Lifeless, broken, forgotten. The man who ruled others had been ruled by fate. Kindness builds shelter. Cruelty builds storms. Power fades. Money disappears. But character walks with you to your final moment. Nature watches, nature waits, and nature never forgets.